Hey guys, what's up? My name is Gabby, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my favorite audiobooks video. I've been asked to do this video a couple times, I think mainly because people just don't really know where to start sometimes with audiobooks, and to be honest, when I first became like a really avid reader, I struggled getting into audiobooks. I couldn't find ones that kept me interested, and I didn't know when to listen to them, and I was just struggling with finishing an audiobook because it can be a little daunting to read, to listen to something for 8 hours and try to commit to that, you know? So I wanted to make this video to talk about where I find audiobooks that I listen to, the best ones that I've listened to. I have like a top 10, they're not in any particular order or anything, but just my 10 favorite audiobooks that I've listened to. I mean, I have listened to a fair amount of audiobooks now. According to my Goodreads, I've listened to about 52 audiobooks, so I think I have a pretty good opinion on the best audiobooks, and I'll mention some that I don't really like as much, but yeah, I just thought I'd make a video just talking about audiobooks and why I think they're fantastic and my top 10 favorite audiobooks to give you guys some recommendations. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing I want to mention is where to find audiobooks, because if you've ever checked it out online, I'm sure you've noticed that audiobooks are pretty expensive. They can range anywhere from $20 to I want to say $40. They're pretty expensive to just get on your own, so I would highly recommend using the app called Overdrive. This is an app that's connected to your local library if they provide it. Basically, it just looks like this little tiny blue circle, the white circle on my phone right there. That's what the app looks like, and you basically just download the audiobook to your phone so that you could listen to it without any Wi-Fi or anything. You can it downloads the entire audiobook onto your phone for 2 weeks. You get to check it out, basically like the library, and then you just listen to it that way, and that's the most convenient app that I've seen so far. I've never had any problems with it. It's amazing. It remembers where you're at in the book, so you don't have to go searching through it over and over again, which I really like. And on that app, you can increase the speed of it. So I listen to it at 1.75 speed so that I don't have to sit there, because I can process it faster than the speed that they're talking. So, usually in audiobooks they talk a little bit slower, I think, which kind of bothers me. So I speed it up because I can get through an 8-hour audiobook in probably 6 hours when I speed it up. So, if it's something that you enjoy, then I would definitely recommend speeding it up because you get through them faster. Another app that I don't personally have, but I know a lot of other libraries have, is Hoopla. Hoopla is another one of those apps that you can download and check out audiobooks from your local library. My library, however, does not have it because they're cheap as fuck. And then of course there's always Audible through Amazon, which I think is a good resource if you are planning on purchasing audiobooks, but I'm kind of cheap and I think it's kind of expensive, to be honest. I mean, I think it's it works like a credit system. You pay $15 every month and then you get to get one audiobook per month for that $15. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, then yeah, totally check it out. But I'm kind of cheap and I think it's expensive, and I prefer just checking out audiobooks from the library. So on to my top 10 audiobooks. These aren't in any particular order. I just have 10 that I would like to mention to you guys and that I would recommend. So starting off the list, I'm gonna recommend memoirs that are read by the authors themselves. So this is gonna include Amy Poehler's Yes Please, Tina Fey's Bossy Pants, Bryan Cranston's A Life in Parts, Amy Schumer's The Girl with the Back Tattoo, and Anna Kendrick's Scrappy Little Nobody. These audiobooks are really great to get you into audiobooks because they're read by, Anna Kendrick's is read by Anna Kendrick. So, and it's the story of their life. So it kind of gets you immediately invested into it, at least for me. Favorite out of all of these is definitely Bryan Cranston's A Life in Parts, mainly because I'm a huge fan of Breaking Bad. So if you are a huge fan of Breaking Bad like I am, then definitely check out Bryan Cranston's A Life in Parts, and it's read by him, and it just feels like you're just with Walter White all the time. I love it. I really did love Amy Schumer's and Anna Kendrick's a lot too. Those are probably my 3 favorites out of these, but if they're a comedian like David Spade, then it's fucking hilarious, and Amy Schumer, so it's really funny to because they put their own jokes into it. It's kind of hearing a stand-up comedy, but in a book. So I would definitely recommend checking any of those out. Another one that I want to mention is Emmy and Oliver by Robin Benway, and I'm recommending this one because it's the first audiobook that I ever listened to all the way through. I listened to this about a year and a half ago now, and I just really, really loved this audiobook. The narrator is Phoebe Schroll, and she has the softest, most beautiful voice I've ever heard in my life. If I could pick to change my voice to sound like anybody else in the world, it would probably be Phoebe Schroll. I'm obsessed. Her voice is just so soft and so cute and sweet, and I love it. She did also narrate the Fifth Wave audiobook and The Time Traveler's Wife and apparently Woman Number 17, which is pretty cool. I have to check that out, and The 100. So she's narrated a lot of really awesome audiobooks, but Emmy and Oliver is my personal favorite. I just really love it. It's a very cute contemporary YA story, kind of like a Morgan Matson feel book, and it's just very good. I highly recommend this audiobook. Another audiobook I wanted to recommend, which should come as no surprise, is the We Are the Ants audiobook, just because this is my favorite book of all time, and I did happen to listen to the audiobook as well, and I thought the audiobook was freaking fantastic. Another great audiobook is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This one is another book that I actually did read the physical book first, and then I listened to the audiobook as a reread, and I thought the audiobook was so great, and it just made me feel even closer to Kath, like hearing all of her thoughts, and I loved it so much. And if you do love this book, I would recommend listening to the audiobook because it's just gonna bring back all those great memories that you loved about this book. The next one is one that I just listened to, and that's gonna be Beartown by Frederic Bachman. A really great, powerful story, first of all, and I think it's a story that everyone should read. It's about this small town in Sweden and how hockey is like their life in Sweden, and it's just very, very powerful story about feminism, which I was not expecting. This audiobook is fantastic. It's just really great. I don't remember the female narrator's name, but it's narrated by this girl, and she has a very easy to listen to voice, and I just really enjoyed this audiobook. Like, I was surprised by how much I was obsessed with it. The next audiobook I enjoyed was Highly Illogical Behavior by John Corey Whaley. It is narrated from a male and a female, I'm pretty sure, with Solomon's perspective and Lisa's perspective, and I just remember really loving this audiobook. It's really easy to listen to, it's not very long, and it's just such a good story. I just loved it so much. Another really great audiobook is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. The audiobook kind of made me like this book, and the audiobook was so like emotional for me. I was like driving while I was listening to it. I started crying while I was driving, and it was just very chaotic. I definitely think if you like this book though, that the audiobook is definitely worth checking out. Alright, the next one I wanted to mention is P.S. I Like You by Casey West. This is the only Casey West book that I have listened to on audiobook, but I'm assuming that most of Casey West's book would probably be pretty good to listen to on audiobook. The girl narrator's voice was very pleasant. It's very short, it's very easy to get through. You can just like put it in your ears and just go about your day and just listen to it, and it's really good. I really love this one. Another one that's also like that is My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Warga, and this is another one that I read last year. It's also a young adult contemporary, and really enjoyed this story. This one definitely is a little bit more depressing. It does remind me a little bit more of like The Fault in Our Stars, like where it's kind of emotionally affecting me as I'm like doing things because it's like really sad, but I also really enjoyed this audiobook. And then the last one I wanted to mention is Dumpling Is Strange, because I actually didn't really care for this story, but the audiobook is really great. And I know that's like weird to say, but like the story was kind of underwhelming for me, but like if you read this book and you like the story, then I would definitely recommend listening to the audiobook, because the narrator has this amazing southern accent and it's just like the best. Like I could listen to her talk like all day. So I like loved her voice, loved the accent. But as far as the story goes, it was like okay. I think I ended up giving it like 3 stars or something, but I mean, I did love this audiobook though. Like that accent was very unique and it stuck with me and I liked it a lot. So other ones that I just wanted to mention that I also thought were really great audiobooks is The Impossible Fortress by Jason Ricci. Sorry if I butchered that. But this audiobook is really cool because this book is about like a 1980s like video game type thing. So they have like video game noises in the audiobook. The fact that this book follows like a group of like 14-year-old teenage boys, like the narrator just really nailed that like teenage boy talk and the way he sounds. It's just very like, I don't know, it totally was like amazing to me, and I really enjoyed listening to this audiobook. Audiobooks are really great, you know, because like even if you're in like a reading slump or whatever, you don't even have to like physically be reading. You can just put it in your ears or like listen to it and whatever and do other things and still be reading. And honestly, that's how most of the time I'm able to read as many books as I am per month, because I'm listening to audiobooks when I'm like driving from school to work. My college is 30 minutes away, so every single day that I'm driving to college, I listen to my audiobook 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back, and it definitely adds up. It's super awesome, and I would highly recommend it. If you don't have like the Overdrive app at your library or something, I'm sure they still have like CD audiobooks that you can listen to in your car or whatever. They have these like new things that are called playaways, and they're about like this big, and they're these tiny little players that you stick batteries in them and they play like audiobooks on it. So that's always an option too. You know, what's your like least favorite audiobook? What's your favorite audiobook of all time? And do you have any audiobook recommendations specifically for me? And if you do, just put them in the comments and let me know, and we'll talk about it. So yeah. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.
All I wanna say is I got the real thing and nothing else.